Dr. Demento here under the smokeberry trees, and I have a visitor today, Mark Cohen, who has just written a wonderful book about Allan Sherman. Yes, a full-length biography of the star of Hello Mutta, Hello Fata, and a zillion other songs that I've played on the show. The book is called Overweight Sensation. Welcome, Mark. Welcome to Dementia.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
And this is a full-length biography of Allan Sherman, warts and all, so to speak. Though he had a great deal of success, he also had some failure. He could be a wonderful companion and also somebody maybe not so nice. Isn't that right?
Yes, he was a complex guy. He had a rough childhood, which some of your fans may know about from his autobiography, A Gift of Laughter. And it haunted him forever after, but his humor also was his antidote, his cure for what ailed him, and it allowed us to enjoy the world a lot more as well.
In 1962, Allan Sherman, known as a television producer but pretty much unknown to the world at large, burst upon the scene with the album My Son, the Folk Singer.
Yes, that's right. That was his first album, and he wrote it with the help of his wife and the producer Lou Bush in just a couple of weeks. So he was rushing through, but of course he had been writing song parodies for years as home entertainment for him and his friends. So he knew what he was about, and he knew he could write song parodies. And he had already been given the great idea of writing song parodies of folk songs to avoid copyright infringements. And his ex-wife told me in interviews that they would sit around the table with all the current folk songs, the albums by Harry Belafonte and Theodore Bikel and others, and they would pick what they wanted to write a parody of, and then Sherman would go to it.
But equally remarkable is that the whole album was recorded in one night.
That's right. It was recorded in one night. Everything had to be done in one take so that the audience would have the initial surprise and delight of hearing all the jokes for the first time and really having a hearty laugh at it. If it didn't go well, then they would have been forced to maybe do a second take with a new audience, which the budget didn't allow at that early point.
Okay. The song that really first captivated America was Sarah Jackman, which was based on a well-known, very old folk song.
Sure, a childhood folk song, and Sherman loved childhood ditties and folk songs. His very, very first song parody, written when he was still in junior high school, was a parody of the Humpty Dumpty rhyme. So he was always drawn to childhood tunes, and he had a strong affection for early childhood and the innocence of childhood. And Sarah Jackman, from that perspective, was not a big surprise in using Frere Jacques. But the brilliance of what he did was that the folk songs that were popular in the folk song era during which he wrote My Son, the Folk Singer, was a celebration of folk songs that recounted stories of an earlier time that people actually weren't living in 1962. They were folk songs from a previous era, work songs and songs from the Negro spiritual tradition and work songs and so forth. What Sherman did was create new folk songs about what people in 1962 were actually doing. And it was very funny to hear songs written about contemporary life in all its prosaic reality, because they were used to hearing folk songs about old heroic days when people were larger than life. But that's not what those folk songs were originally meant to be, and that's not what his folk songs were, and hence the tremendous humor of it all.
Hello?
Is this 418-9749?
Speaking.
Sarah?
Yeah.
Sarah Jackman, how's by you? How's by you? How's by you the family? How's your sister Emily?
She's nice too.
She's nice too.
Jerry Bachman, so what's new?
What you doing, Sarah?
Reading John O'Hara.
He's nice too.
He's nice too.
Sarah Jackman, how's by you? How's by you? How's your brother Bernie?
He's a big attorney.
How's your sister Doris?
Still with William Morris.
How's your cousin Shirley?
She got married early.
How's her daughter Esther?
Skipped a whole semester.
How's your brother Bentley?
Feeling better mentally.
How's your cousin Ida?
She's a freedom rider.
What's with Uncle Sidney?
They took out a kidney.
How's your sister Norma?
She's a nonconformer.
How's your cousin Lena?
Moved to Pasadena.
How's your Uncle Nathan?
Him I got no faith in.
I ain't heard from Sonia.
I'll get her to phone ya.
How's her daughter Rita?
A regular Lolita.
How's your cousin Manny?
Signed up with Victani.
How's your nephew Seymour?
Seymour joined the Peace Corps.
He's nice too. He's nice too. Sarah Jackman, Sarah Jackman. How's
Jerry
by you?
Bachman,
How's
Jerry
by you?
Bachman,
Give
so
regards to
what
High
do?
now.
So
Gotta say
what
goodbye
do?
now.
Give regards to Mo now. Well, I gotta go now. Toodaloo, toodaloo, toodaloo.